What's up, YouTube? I'm Robert, and this is the B1KER Bar Podcast, B1KER Bar channel. I need to come up with the best way to do that intro because this is not my POV video or my POV channel. So I'm like used to saying that whole spiel, but now you guys are going to hear this one. So episode 51. I put a list together just the other day of all the people that were on this podcast so far, and it's been pretty impressive, and I'm super excited about everybody that I've had on and our guest today. So those of you guys that don't know, the guest today is Jordan Boostmaster. But before we get started, what I really need to talk to you guys about is who sponsored this show. And the people that sponsored this show are probably the ones that I hold like closest to my heart. If I have one, like, you know, like the Grinch is like 2 sizes too small. Basically, it's all you guys out there on Patreon, man. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the sponsor of this week's show. If it wasn't for Patreon, I would not be doing YouTube still. I guarantee it. Like, seriously, it's you guys that are supporting me and putting a little change in the pocket so I can keep the beer fridge full. That helps a lot. If you decide to swing by Patreon for $1, you can be part of that. $1 a month, right? Like a candy bar. I think they still cost $1. Or am I like aging or dating myself? I'm not sure. But either way, for $1, you can get onto that and you'll actually get access to all the coupons that I have set up, like coupon deals with different companies that I've worked through it with in the past. And so that's worth it. You'll definitely save more than $12 a year in coupons. I guarantee it. And for $5 a month, you can get some sick sticker pack that I put together, and that's by Stickered. And those are pretty impressive. So outside of that, if you guys are listening to this as a podcast, do me a favor and swing by whatever podcast app it is that you use and do like a little review. I went on to the Apple ones the other day and was checking them out. You guys said some nice things. I appreciate it. It really means a lot. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. This is a spin-off from my B1KER channel. So we're in the growing phase. I think you're always in the growing phase though. And that like button, hit that if we make you laugh or you thought it was entertaining. If you didn't like it at all, hit it twice. Doesn't matter to me. So anyways, let's go ahead and bring on today's guest. That is old Jordan Boostmaster. What's up, Jordan?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, dude. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty well. Doing all right. Just
just here. So for people that don't know who you are, like what's you got a YouTube channel? What's that about?
Yeah, so I mountain bike a lot. It's just all about mountain biking, free ride, downhill. My favorite kind of stuff, you know, or enduro as well, sure. I don't know, just riding fun places. Right.
You're in Canada?
Yeah, I'm near Vancouver, BC.
Okay.
Close to it. Yeah.
So what's your go-to spot? Just Whistler or?
Yeah, I mean, like I definitely go there the most as far as like a bike park, like in the summertime, I definitely go to Whistler the most, but like I live 2.5 hours away. So I'll do like some day trips, maybe some weekend trips, whatever, you know. There's a lot of mountain biking close to where I am anyway. Like I don't actually have to go far for mountain biking. I can drive like 15 minutes from my local mountain and I ride there the most just because the closest for quick rides and, you know, half hour in any direction. There's trails, there's trail systems. So there's a lot of good stuff to get actually.
Yeah. You guys got the primo riding up there, but only half the year, right?
I mean, honestly, we can ride like all year long, but like, yeah, the winter's not as great. So I don't ride very much in the winter time.
Yeah. I mean, is it like snow up there everywhere? Like, so when you're saying you're riding in the winter, you're like doing fat biking, or you're like, no, there's actually like lower elevation places where you can ride?
Yeah, like there's definitely lower elevation places. So the place where I am, which is like the lower mainland or Fraser Valley of BC, it's the bottom left, like southwest corner of BC. It's the mildest part of all of Canada, actually. So while we're used to thinking of Canada as always so wintry, honestly, where I am, it doesn't snow very much in the winter time.
Oh, wow.
Like at all. So I think this winter, what did it snow? It might have snowed like maybe a foot all winter long. Spread out. I don't know. I kind of forget now, but sometimes, yeah, snow lasts for like a week, 2 weeks. Then it comes back again for a week, goes away. It's wet. I don't know. It's a wetter climate where we are.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So I this is actually the first time I've ever talked to you. So obviously you know that nobody else does, but they do now. So I was just curious, like, where are you from? Like, is that where you're from originally, or?
Yeah, like I've grown up here all my life. So like the town I'm in is called Abbotsford. It's like an hour out of Vancouver, basically. Yeah, I grew up here all my life, and it's a nice place. And
where did you how did you get into riding?
Yeah, I guess like, I mean, I was always into like riding bikes and like BMX, right? So like I'd like to ride jumps, and I'd have some like little wooden jumps when I was younger. And then ultimately when it came to mountain biking specifically, there's a friend basically at school, a new guy at school who's into mountain biking, and I thought, hey, that sounds cool because I already like riding jumps and stuff like that. So then let's go to the mountains now. And so I know the first time I went mountain biking with him, I just like borrowed one of his bikes. I think it was just like this fully rigid bike or something, rim brakes and everything. And I don't know, I just thought that's super cool. So then I ended up buying a hardtail and all that kind of stuff. And yeah,
I saw on your channel that you had built a hardtail just recently.
Yeah, like my Diamondback sinker hardtail. I mean, yeah.
What do you think of that thing?
Oh, I like it a lot. Yeah, yeah. Hardtails are really good to have. Yeah, and this one's really fun. I like it a lot, definitely.
Yeah. And I was watching you on the video, man. You're like treating that thing like it's a full suspension bike, dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's super, super cool though, man. You're definitely a shredder, man. You make me look like I'm like sitting on the couch when I'm riding my bike.
Yeah.
So, what is it that you like about a hardtail?
Well, I mean, I guess like I started out on hardtail for like the first 3 years of my riding life, I guess, right? So, and because that's all I could really afford, and it really just helped me to understand like it's a really good way of starting out. It's a really good way of starting to mountain bike. I love riding full suspension bikes, like obviously everyone does, but like when I was new to mountain biking and all I had was my hardtail, I would just fantasize about like 5 inches of full suspension would be amazing, or something. Dream about it, or like 7 inches would feel incredible. But like it just, I have an appreciation for what hardtails can do for teaching you how to ride. That's basically a really valuable thing. And same with like BMX can really teach you how to ride. I really like, it's just the idea of feeling the trail, really knowing what your bike is going through, and then you can feel what your bike is going through, and you want to take care of your bike. So now you start to ride a bit differently. You start to ride, take your line choice differently, and it transfers into my full suspension bikes, where I try to take care of my bikes. I don't know. It's just a good background to have.
It's funny. I actually didn't have this realization until you just said that a few minutes ago. Like my mountain biking career, I guess you could say, or journey, it started on a hardtail as well, but it was because that's all that was available back then. When I first started riding in like the 90s, like full suspension wasn't a thing. Like my first bike was a Giant, and it was their whole lineup was rigid. There was not even a fork that they had a suspension fork. So I think whenever I started riding, I was riding a fully rigid bike, and I guess that did teach me a lot of how to ride and how to, like, I think what it really does the best, and even now that I have a hardtail again in my stable, it really teaches you how to like take lines, like what lines to take. When you have a bunch of suspension, you can just like run into shit. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of like
you can monster truck through things, and that's a lot of fun.
Right? Yeah,
right?
It totally is.
I enjoy that too, but also I don't like breaking my bikes. So, and I don't know, you kind of start to realize like, oh, if I actually did this line, I could preserve even though if I have a downhill bike, I could help to preserve it better. I could kind of land better if I landed right here rather than on any kind of sharp roots and rocks. And I don't know, all that kind of stuff.
And it's surprising like how fast you can be on them. You start to really rely on your suspension, and you forget that it's actually not 100% the bike is not what's making you fast. It's like the rider. You know what I mean? And I just recently, last year, I got a hardtail for the first time in years and years and years. And I, would go down these runs that are like my local runs, and I was getting the same times as I was on my full suspension bike. And I'm like, how the hell is that? And then it kind of just makes you want to like, I don't know, at least for me, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. Then I'm like, well, where else can I take this thing? Like, how stupid can I get with this? You know?
Yeah.
So you're running bigger tires on that? I think you said like a 2.8.
Yeah, I mean, that's what comes stock, and I'm not planning on changing it. I think it's kind of fun. I always liked fat tires anyway.
Yeah.
They always kind of seem pretty cool to me. So yeah, 2.8s, minions.
Yeah. I have 2.8 on mine as well, but I'm running a lower profile tire. I always forget the name.
Yeah.
So Recon, I think is what it is. Maxxis Recons.
Okay.
They seem to do pretty well. It's like, it seems like it's enough grip where I'm not breaking loose, but it's not like so big that it like just blows on the climbs, you know? I feel like it's like I don't know how much you're doing a lot of climbing up there, or are you like mostly all riding park?
No, like I do a lot of each. Like, I mean, I haven't ridden any park this year at all because nothing's open just yet. But well, some places have announced they'll be opening pretty quickly, like Sun Peaks and Silver Star. But don't know about Whistler just yet. But yeah, haven't done anything lift access this year yet. There's a lot of just whatever local stuff. We just hike up or pedal up. Honestly, me and my friends, we just kind of walk up. We don't pedal very much.
Man, I should hang out with you guys then.
Yeah. Especially if we have like downhill bikes, it's like we can just walk up. Who cares? No problem.
Right.
And or even like when I'm on my hardtail, I'll maybe a friend's on a downhill bike. We'll pedal for a bit and then I'll walk. I don't care, whatever. Walking up is fine with me.
Right. It's all about the down for you, right?
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
So you've been doing YouTube for a long time. When did you start your channel?
So this channel was 2012. I made it in January 2012. First started uploading in May 2012. But this was not the first YouTube channel I've had, though. Like, I actually started YouTube in 2006.
What'd you do in 2006, dude?
Still mountain biking stuff. And so
were you like a camcorder taped to your head or something?
Yeah, well, because I didn't get the POV stuff, but yeah, I had like a camcorder. It was a mini DV tape and a camcorder. It was pretty good quality for how old it was, but I was pretty happy with it. And then I just film my friends and get them to film me and stuff. So
somebody would always be holding the camera and you guys would just do like ride by kind of shots and stuff like that.
It was mostly me doing the filming. It was mostly me filming other people. So like my channel was called BikerMan13. And I made that in 2006. I was using that for like 4 or 5 years. It only ever got to like 1,400 subscribers at the most.
But back then, I think that was a lot, right?
Yeah, like I think like when I was growing by like 5 or 6 subscribers a day average, I was like pretty stoked. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good, man. This is sick. Right? And it's like nothing compared to today.
Yeah, I bet you blink and you probably have another 1,000 on your channel right now. You're up what, like over 100,000 at this point?
209,000.
That's what I thought. I knew you're up there. So what made you dump the old channel and start a new one? I mean, you had 1,400 subscribers.
I know, dude. Actually, at that time, I was thinking, man, this is like a bit of a risk. I don't know if should I give up that whole base of 1,400 people? Like, man, this is crazy. But I just realized I had to rebrand myself, basically. I had to start fresh. I had to start over. My whole channel was a variety channel. Like I mostly did mountain bike stuff, but I posted totally random stuff there too. Yeah. And so I don't know. I'm just a young kid, just experimenting. I'm just being creative. I'm doing fun, creative stuff. And then I realized, okay, no, if I actually want to take this seriously, because a dream of mine has always been to make a living working for myself, like doing what I want. And what I want to do as of now is just, make mountain bike videos, have fun with that, express myself through that. I just realized, okay, I have to just like start fresh, kind of rebrand myself. The name Jordan Boostmaster I had for a couple of years at that point because I got that nickname when I was in college. This was in like 2009, 2010 or whatever it was. And then I was like, okay, that's a cool nickname. I'm going to use that as my name. That's going to be my channel name. And then I finally went and made it in 2012. I re-uploaded some of my older videos with like different music where I could like monetize it. And stuff like that. And then just tried to like make everything clean so that I would have no copyright violations, all that kind of stuff. Just do everything right. And like, I don't know, just like be like, okay, I'm going to make money with this channel now. We're going to do something big.
Right.
But yeah.
And then like, did the channel start doing well right away? I mean, because if I remember correctly, you kind of had like a slow growth for a long time, but then once you got to a certain point, it kind of started steamrolling at that point.
Yeah, that is definitely true. It took a year to get to 1,000 subscribers, which is at least better than my previous channel growth, where it was like 4 years or 5 years. But like,
yeah.
So it took me 1 year to get to 1,000, and then the next year, I gained another like 9,000. So I then was at 10,000 after the second year. So I kind of like tenfolded it.
Yeah, dude.
So I was like, oh, okay, I like this. So that felt pretty good. And then I don't know, at that point it just kind of plateaued. Like the growth kind of was stagnant. It was just a straight line rather than any kind of exponential growth. And so yeah, it was pretty stagnant and just kind of like I felt like I wasn't able to grow, just taking forever to get to even 30,000. Like I probably was at 30,000 subs by like 2014 or 15.
What do you think was like making it slow? Just there wasn't many people watching mountain bike stuff, or do you think like it was actually your content? Or
I mean, I guess like, yeah, I didn't know entirely, because like this is before, I guess this is still when people were using Pink Bike quite a lot for like their videos, their mountain biking videos. And I had used Pink Bike quite a lot to post all my mountain bike content for sure. YouTube itself was also just growing on its own anyway. And yeah, this is before many people were posting mountain biking content. Like Sam Pilgrim was posting mountain bike content back then as well. But there's not many people making mountain bike stuff. Plus, the kind of content I was making, I guess, just wasn't really something that was going to grow enough. And I didn't know that at the time until like, hindsight is 2020 anyway. So I don't know. I'm just doing whatever I think can work. And it just gets a bit discouraging that like, oh, it didn't work enough. And then,
dude, I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, I think everybody that's on YouTube though, most people, you're making it up as you go. And I think it's not until you're actually successful at it that you like, oh, that's what worked, but I mean, shit, I've been doing it for a couple of years and my regular biker channel is only at like 9,000 subscribers. And I'm like, I'm like, some of the things that I've done on that channel was like what I thought I wanted to see that I wasn't seeing in other videos, and in some cases maybe that's good because it made me more individual. But in other cases, it's also probably not what people want to see. So, so if you really want it to grow, you do have to kind of like pay attention to those things.
Yeah, like because my whole kind of idea behind why I ever wanted to make mountain bike videos is because I wanted to make what doesn't exist yet. And I would watch I'd watch Pink Bike videos, those little 3-minute edits kind of thing, right? And those are the coolest videos, and that's what I would make, is those like edit videos. Those I'm filming my friends, it's those third person videos. I'm filming my friends, edit everything to music, and those are still some of my favorite stuff to make. And I actually don't make any of that anymore, unfortunately. I'm trying to bring some of that back now, but the idea is I see like a kind of style that people are making. I'm like, I want to see this. So I make it. I just make what I want to see because it's missing in the market. And so I make it. But then after a while, I'd realize like, okay, I still need to kind of change to really become popular, because what changed for me, it was like in 2017, I had a break in end of 2016. I broke my wrist and then I couldn't do anything. I went to Cape and Ray. It's this Bible school in New Zealand for like 3 months. That was a nice break. And then I came back. For some reason, I just had so much more motivation, motivation. And then I would upload every week instead of every other week. So I would only upload every 2 weeks before. And then I would be able to, like in 2017, I met up with Seth Bike Hacks and BKXC. And that was so cool. So I got these collaborations going, and I would like meet them. Then we'd talk about like how this stuff, I don't know, how to grow better. And I was able to like recognize how everyone else was like growing so much faster than me. BKXC, Skills with Phil, Seth Bike Hacks, all these people. And I'm like, what the heck? And they have different content. Their personalities were more on camera. I'm like, I actually have to do that and put my face on camera, put my voice in. So I started to do voiceovers like back in 2016. I would do that. And so I totally changed my content. And I started growing way better at that point on. Like from 2017 on, I was growing like way better. I was working way harder, and that was cool.
No, I totally hear you there. I think it's good too when you're able to get around other content creators, because there's certain things that you have questions about and they're able to help you out, and like you can't necessarily find those direct answers when you're just scrolling through how to make a YouTube channel, on YouTube. I want to tell you something, and this will probably surprise you, but you're actually one of the reasons that I started doing YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not from like I was watching all your videos shredding or whatever, but I had this biker thing that I was working on for a while, and for whatever reason it fell apart. And right around whenever BKXE came out, he's pretty motivational in what he was talking about, and I was like, man, I need to get this biker thing that I've been not working on. I need to get it in to like make it actually happen, right? And so I'm like watching videos on YouTube on like how to make a YouTube channel and like how to edit or something like that. And you had this like really long video on like how to do a YouTube channel, and you were like really in depth on like GoPro settings and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the GoPro tutorial video, I think, is what you're talking about.
And I want to say in that video you were like saying like this number one thing to like get to doing your YouTube channel was just to start.
Yeah.
And I was like, it just resonated, because it was like, no, that's I'm gonna sit here and think about it for another year, or I'm just gonna get started. So that was actually one of those things where it was like, all right, no, that makes sense. Like I need to just do it. So thank you.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, man. You never know like what one little thing is that, somebody would say to you, or not to you directly, but it can change things. It's been a fun journey, definitely for me. Yeah. So, when you started growing, this wasn't your full-time job. Like it was still kind of like your thing you're doing on the side. You said you went to college. What'd you go to college for?
So I did two different things. I went to a mountain bike operations program. This is in 2008, 2009. It was just 1 year long. And it was a simple program. We learned like trail building and like some guiding and teaching and some other kind of fun stuff. It was a cool little class, because it was just like, it was small. It was like 26 people, all mountain bikers, kind of living together, going to school together. It was kind of fun. The next year after that, I did a film program for 12 months. And that's,
so was that because, I don't know how old you were. Like, were you in high school when you started that first channel back in 2006, or were you in college? Or
I was just in like grade 12 when I started that first channel. Yeah.
So then basically when you came to be an adult, you were like, I want to work in the bike industry somehow. So you went to school for that. And then you're like, this whole video thing, I'm digging it.
Yeah, I was more into like the video all along. So like going to the school for mountain bike stuff, honestly, I never really was sure if I wanted to work in the bike industry. It was just kind of a fun thing to do for a year.
Yeah, you're like, this will shut my parents up. I'll do it.
like the tuition wasn't too much, because like I had to pay all my tuition anyway and stuff. Yeah. It wasn't too much, and like it was fun. Lived on the Sunshine Coast. It's like a ferry ride out of Vancouver. It's kind of a cool place. Lots of cool mountain biking there, and it was a good experience. But I don't know. I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually do anything in the industry. And I decided afterwards, I was like, no, I actually don't want to work in the industry. And I mean, maybe it sounds bad, but like, I just thought like all the guys were like kind of jerks somewhat. So I didn't want to work with mountain bikers. Like that was the idea.
You're like, I don't like these dudes.
Yeah. Like some of them were cool. Like, some of them I totally got along with, but most of them I couldn't get along with too well. And so I was like, I don't want to work with these kind of people. So I'm just doing my own thing.
So do you feel like the video stuff that you went to school with, like it really helped or no?
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah, because then the film program was really cool. We would kind of learn a bit of everything about film production, and
Uh-huh.
I never really I wasn't totally set on doing just mountain bike videos at that
Mm-hmm.
point. I was open to doing anything. I was also interested in acting at that time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of interested in a lot of things and just film production as well. But at the end of the school, I kind of started to really see potential with YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and just like kind of doing your own thing there. And this was like in 2010 now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
2010 when I was finished that school. And you know, I'd made some popular mountain bike videos like on Pink Bike,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe on YouTube, call them more popular. And I would be like, huh, there's some real potential here. And so I just really decided like this is actually where my passion is. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was frustrating how long it took to actually go full time
Mm-hmm.
because I only went full time last year in
Yeah.
like March 2019. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
I would work part time all throughout and stuff.
What kind of jobs did you do when you weren't a YouTube famous star?
So I started delivering pizza,
Uh-huh.
and that was actually a pretty fun job. I actually quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? Yeah, right after my film program, I hurt my hand. I tore a tendon in my hand. It's really blows. So I couldn't even really ride much. And it also handicapped me for like certain kinds of jobs, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I guess I just like I need some kind of job. Just
Mm-hmm.
got this delivery pizza job, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was like one of the funner jobs I've had for a while. So I kept it. I was there for like 5 years actually, and I don't know. It was fun for the first half, and then it was getting more boring for the later half. So I
Yeah.
kind of needed to get out, and I
What
did a couple other jobs.
what was the worst one?
Yeah, like I would work in this warehouse. I don't like that. I don't like the
Yeah.
warehouse jobs. So it was like this. I'd, what would we do? We'd pack like pet food, like dog food and cat
Yeah.
food on pallets and pack them up
Right.
and send them away. I don't know. It was
Something
lame.
very monotonous then, yeah. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I worked at another pizza place. I did another delivery job delivering bread to Costco,
Yeah.
and that was kind of cool. But it was like super early morning, so I was like, but it was good money. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, only did that for like a year and a half, and I just couldn't do it anymore. The early mornings were terrible.
I worked at a couple of pizza places when I was younger too. It was pretty
Yeah.
fun. It was always a good time. I worked at this one, man. We would like the guys that owned the place, they had went to school with my uncle, so they were only like a couple years older than me. They were like in their early 20s, and I was in like high school or whatever. And we'd like make pizza until like whatever time it closed, 10 or 11, and then we'd like go get a bunch of beer and go out fishing, and then we'd like come back to the pizza shop at like 2 o'clock in the morning and make more food for ourselves. And it was just a really good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
Not that I'm condoning underage drinking. We were of course drinking soda pop and whatever other things that you don't.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good time, man.
Yeah.
So when was it that you realized like, hey, this channel is actually big enough that I think I can like make this a full-time job? Because that's gotta be pretty scary.
Yeah, I know, because like everything fluctuates. There's no like predictability so much,
right?
Not as much as a regular job. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because it was 2017 and 2018. I would start to see like noticeable growth every year, and then 2019, yeah, every year just getting better and better. Yeah, at the end of 2018, I was just like, yeah, September was super good, like tons of views there and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm thinking, okay, I just really wanted to just stop working the jobs that I had, the day job. Like I was just so sick of it that I was just, I don't know, I was just getting kind of antsy to leave. So yeah, I don't know. I guess just the fall of 2018, early 2019, I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? I think this should be just fine. And then I quit at the end of February at Panago. I was delivering pizza at Panago at the time for like 1 year.
Yeah. So basically like from ad revenue was enough at that point, or is it like you did Patreon or
yeah, because I had
selling merch or
yeah, it was mostly YouTube ad revenue and then Patreon, but then also Facebook ad revenue, and that actually really helped. my Patreon wasn't too big at the time. I'd started Patreon in like 2017. But Patreon's growing slowly but surely, and I'm actually really stoked on my Patreon page. And just like because you know, when you're saying at the beginning of the show, like your Patreon is like big supporter, well, so is it for me too. And back then or now, even though I'm at 209,000 subscribers, my Patreon page is actually very, very valuable to me, and I love it a lot. So I very much value my patrons.
For me, it's like, you know, I don't have to make a YouTube video, right? Like, like if you don't have a Patreon, like there's nothing that says you have to do it, right? But when like people that like have their own lives and they're putting their money down for you to like produce content, you feel like, hey, well, I'm like, I need to do something, you know? Like at least that's the way it is for me. So it's like, that's why I always say I definitely wouldn't, I don't think I'd still be doing it if it wasn't for them. Because there's been some times where I'm like, dude, screw this, man. What am I doing? Like, really? You know, I'm spending all this time for what? You know? You know what I'm talking about? Like when your channel's smaller, you're not making any money, man. Like people would think like at my channel, they'd be like, oh my God, he's got 9,000 subs. Like, I think I've had this conversation with BKXE before that he kind of like made people think that you make a lot more money because he quit his job at like 5,000 subs. But like people didn't really remember that like he had this savings account that he was like dwindling away and he was just trying to put all his effort into it. So it's like, so people look at a channel like mine, they're like, oh yeah, you must be making a bunch of money. It's like, dude, I don't even think I make $100 every couple of months off of my ad revenue where I'm at, you know, like, but the guys on Patreon, man, you guys make it happen. So plus it's cool. We're like, you know, those are your biggest fans, you know, people that really want to support you.
Yeah. Totally.
It's cool to have that community, you know?
Yeah.
So was the reason that you started YouTube just like, you just wanted to make videos, or like, was it like, was there like some other driving force that like you just said you wanted to have your own business? Or
I mean, yeah, like I'm a creative person. I love to express myself basically. And there's different things that I've kind of wanted to do. Like back in the day, I love to experiment with like stop motion. Kind of like I would do some Lego stop motion stuff and this or that. And I don't know, mountain biking just being a big passion of mine. I figure I should mix them together, obviously. And but I don't know, like before I would start putting videos on Pink Bike, and at the time that was like the place to get the views on Pink Bike. But then I would kind of realize like, okay, well, I don't get anything out of this in terms of money or anything, unless I'm like
fun, like creativity.
Yeah. Unless I'm like getting hired by anybody or getting some kind of whatever, unless it's, you know, to get hired by something. But I don't know. I'm just so independent minded. That's like what I really just want to do. I just don't really like working for people very much. I just really want to do my own thing. But it does require more work to be able to succeed at that. And I know that, and it took time, but I actually did achieve it finally over time. But I don't know. So YouTube, I just recognize YouTube as the place where this is the place where you can do that. You can actually be independent. It's just going to take some time and work, but that's the platform.
So you mentioned that over on Facebook, you're making a bunch of ad revenue over there. I don't even do anything on Facebook other than like post where my YouTube videos are, like, or like basically like Facebook just gets my Instagram posts. So like you're posting videos over there, like full videos over there? Or?
I am, but I actually re-edit them. So they're not even quite the same as my YouTube videos. So I do put work into that as well. But yeah, I'm really thankful for that cool opportunity, because, well, anybody can basically do it, but it was easier for me to jump into it because like I have a multi-channel network here on YouTube, and then they gave me the opportunity to be part of this launchpad program, opportunity, whatever, through Facebook, where they begun to get into the whole video market and monetization market. So there's ads playing on those videos the same way as on YouTube. Monetization works slightly differently there. You have to post videos at least 3 minutes or longer to be monetized. And there's no like pre-roll ads. They're all they all come in like at least a minute through, then an ad will start. So it is different than the way YouTube works in that way. But regardless, yeah, it was really cool because then they would give me free promotion for a while. Like it was a 6-month program. They'd give me free promotion on like a week on this video, a week on that video, and it was super helpful. And then there would become organic views, organic growth, and everything. And yeah, it was super cool to see like the potential there. And I was quite surprised because some videos would blow up and I would be like, whoa, okay. And then I'd make some real money on Facebook alone. And then I would actually match the money on Facebook that I've been making on YouTube for a number of months.
Oh, wow.
So then that was super good. And yeah, to just double your money just like that from adding Facebook to it was quite something. But Facebook is more fluctuating. It's less predictable. YouTube is predictable more so. And then Facebook is kind of a bit all over the place, but it's kind of weird, but it's still really valuable. So I'm actually quite happy with how it's going. So I'm regularly posting stuff.
Is the format shorter over there? Is that what you got to shoot for? Or like, what's the big difference? Yeah,
like I definitely try to put shorter stuff on there. I think that works better. I think so at least. And I post everything in the 4:3 aspect ratio as opposed to 16:9. I think that also helps. Not everyone does that though, but my experiences seem to help. But yeah, I would just I'd post some like simple, just straight up, just like riding clips of like riding this trail, like just strip away the story and then just like post like a riding clip of this trail. And some of those perform really well. And then I'd also upload like the regular YouTube videos, like the long videos where there's the voiceover, but I would kind of shorten them and condense them. I don't know. I'm still kind of experimenting and figure out what all works, but
so is it just like a Facebook page, like a Jordan page, and you post the video there, or is it like some different video platform that they have?
No, like it's directly on Facebook. Yeah, because you can go to Facebook right now and just facebook.com/Jordan Boostmaster. I post a bunch of stuff, and you'll generally find the shorter videos. It's like a shorter version of my YouTube videos, or I'll like cut a YouTube video in half and post 2 videos on Facebook or something. I'm just trying to I've been kind of trying to just see how much I can get out of it, but also experiment and like see like what actually works. And Facebook is just a different platform than YouTube. People are on Facebook for different reasons. And so there's a different mindset. There's a different attention span.
Yeah, I get sucked into those Facebook videos though sometimes, man. You know, it's like, because I noticed like what they do is they like say one of your friends posts a video and you watch it, but it like takes you into this like video roll where it like then there's like all these other videos and you're like, oh well, I guess I'm doing this now. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like TikTok. Have you ever been on TikTok?
Actually, no, I haven't.
Oh my God, don't even try it, dude. It's like doing heroin, man.
Oh man.
It's like you start out, you're like, this is dumb. Let's just see what's everybody talking about. And then like 2 hours later, you find yourself like still looking at cat videos or whatever the hell it is that you're looking at. And you're like, why am I doing this with my life? Yeah. So do yourself a favor, don't download it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the next new platform, you know. It's I always question like somebody else has to be like a real rival for YouTube, you know what I mean? Like it has to happen.
Hope so, but I want that to happen.
Yeah. So then it's like, you know, so then what happens at that point, you know, like is that whenever like do people just put their same content over there at this other one, or is it like, does it get to like, well, if you have a YouTube channel to be part of this, you're not allowed to post the same content, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, you know.
I mean, I don't think that would be a problem. I'm sure any new website would be like, oh yeah, bring all the same stuff on YouTube, bring it all over here. Yeah.
Right.
They just want there to exist content on. I don't know.
But if you were building your own like platform, let's just get out there a little bit. Like what kind of things would you change, like compared to how YouTube or whatever you're used to, like what would you do?
Well, I don't know. It's a bit hard to say, I guess. What I really liked about the old YouTube, like back in, I don't know if you remember YouTube back in like 2009, 2008. Okay. Your channel pages were so much more unique. They're so much more customizable. They were like almost like a website looking thing, because you can customize the whole background. You can customize the colors, the font colors. You can put like a whole custom like Photoshop image as your background and play around with like how
it was like
MySpace.
Placed.
Yeah, it was super cool. And then I was so pissed off when was it? Maybe 2010. I forget. They just simplified everything. Everyone has the same looking channel, just white background. All we get is just a customizable banner on the top, and that's the only customizable thing. It's stupid. I hate it. I want my unique space on my channel page to look super cool. But then I guess I can do a website for that. But still, I don't know.
Right. Do you do your website yourself, or you like have some friends that do it? Or
I basically made my website myself. I just use a template from like Squarespace and stuff.
No, it works, dude.
That's all.
It totally works. I do web stuff, and over the years, like I used to like code it all myself, and then I got to a point where, dude, even though I know how to code this stuff, I use templates too. It's like way easier. It's like basically I'll just take somebody's template and then I'll change it to how I want it to be. So at least I can kind of get away with a little bit of like being unique that way. But right on, man. So I think what I would change is I don't like how YouTube like has these like tiers where you get access to like certain like tools. Like let's just say like I don't know. Here's a good example. Like, oh, you have to have 10,000 subscribers to have like the Teespring integration, right?
Okay.
And so like something like that where monetize like your channel, even if it's monetized under 10,000 subscribers, like you're not really making any money. So like, why not give those kind of tools to the people who really need to like make some money on their channel, right? Like like to me, like I always feel like they do that, and it's like they set these bars at a level where it kind of makes it harder for a little channel to get bigger, you know?
Yeah, I'm not really opposed to those higher bars actually. Like I don't know
why.
It's because it forces you to like really work for it and prove yourself, prove that you're worthy, I guess. But like back in the day, monetization was a whole big issue. It was a whole big thing. Like, whoa, you're monetized? That's amazing. Like that was an accomplishment to be able to have monetization. And so things are so different. And then like on your channel page, if you had monetization, you could have like a banner space over top. So you could tell by visiting someone's channel whether or not they were on the partner program, just because they had this special banner space that nobody else had. It was super cool. And so there's like prestige to it and all that kind of stuff. But I guess the mindset was different. Like now everyone kind of has the mindset of like, okay, let's make a YouTube channel, make some money with it. Okay, fair enough. But maybe we just really need to prove that I don't know, you're worth it, I guess. I don't know. But like I don't know. I mean, YouTube doesn't like you anything else, but
I think in some cases, I think that they should be there. Like I totally understand like the 1,000 subscribers thing before you can be monetized, you know, like make content that people actually want to watch before they can get monetized. Because I want to say when I first signed up for my YouTube channel, I don't think you had to do anything to get monetized. You just had to say you wanted to be monetized.
Yeah. When was that you made it?
I think when I first started this channel was probably like 2015 or something like that. Because like I had the channel for like originally when I started, I was doing a website, BYKER.com. And the only thing I was using YouTube for was to like host my videos that I was putting on my website. Like I was doing it completely backwards. Like I didn't even consider YouTube as a platform. It was like, to me, YouTube was like for cat videos, you know, like I didn't like, so I was like, I don't want to have to pay this web hosting space for like sending all these videos to people so that they can watch them. So I'll just use YouTube, and I'll had everything like unlisted and like just did it that way, you know? It's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, so back in 2012, when I made my Jordan Boostmaster channel, that was still before it was easily able to monetize. And so this was an interesting time where soon after that, they opened up monetization to everyone. And that was kind of a good thing, except for the fact that it would take forever and ever for you to get approved. And it would be like on a per video basis, basically, generally. And it would take forever for each video to finally get accepted and approved for monetization, which is like pointless to go through that. And so then a year after I made my channel, so in 2013, once I reached 1,000 subscribers, I thought, okay, that's the threshold. Well, now I'll apply for a multi-channel network because they will give you monetization like that instantly, and there's no problems. And so then that's how I did my channel. I went through multi-channel network. They're like, oh yeah, so to have me on. And then now I have monetization, and that's how it's been ever since. And so I never actually technically monetize my channel through YouTube. It's like I've never associated my AdSense account with YouTube ever before. It's also.
So how does that multi-channel network work? What's that? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of different kinds. So mine's called full screen, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds, I guess. They take a cut and they help you out with stuff. Like it's a person that you can talk to about anything. They can help you to get maybe some brand deals, maybe some other stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. So
then do they like promote your video? Do they like pay? Like, is there some kind of way that they're like getting you more views or something? Like, so I don't understand how are they getting the money to monetize you? You know what I mean?
Well, it's not about them getting the money to monetize. Like they're taking a certain cut from me and from every person that they have. I don't know. They don't necessarily promote you.
So it's like you're doing they're taking the monetization money from YouTube, and then you're getting like a percentage of that, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess basically. Yeah, they just take generally they'll take something like a 30% cut, which is pretty high. We got that cut down though. Like after a while, I got that cut down. But yeah, like they'll say like, oh, we can offer this and that. They'll offer like, this kind of CPMs or something. And so I don't know if you actually get better CPMs with them or without, but I don't know. My multi-channel network has been fine. I might not be with them forever. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know yet, but it's been fine so far.
Right on, man. So I saw one of your videos. You had this like crazy bike that you were riding. Was it Sentinel? What was it?
Oh yeah. It's like with the linkage fork, right?
Yeah, that thing was insane looking.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Structure Cycle Works.
That's it. Yeah.
Brand. Yeah. I know, that thing was hilarious.
So you're just like walking by this thing and it's just sitting there and you're like, all right, I'm going to try it.
Yeah. Like, cause it was at Crankworks in Whistler. You can demo a whole bunch of bikes, right? And so, so they were there, Structure Cycle Works. I'm like, well, that's going to make a good video. So I got to ride that. And so, so I was pretty excited, and they were excited to have me ride it and make a video. And I was like, yeah, cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Do people like, you get noticed pretty frequently, or because you were kind of behind the camera a lot, like not with your face in front of the camera as your channel is growing. So I don't know if you're like, people stop you all the time or what?
Like it's been a noticeable kind of ramp up through the years, especially at like places like Whistler. It's been noticeable where, what was it, back in like 2018, I would start to notice almost every single day that I would go there, there'd be at least one person who would like say hi or recognize me and stuff. And I don't know, that kind of stuff has kind of ramped up a bit more. And so it's just kind of fun. It's kind of interesting, but it's kind of weird. Cause like even before that, there would be like random people who would recognize me, and I'm like wearing my full gear. Like they can't see my face. They'd recognize me by my bike, not by me. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, but it is funny.
What happened?
People don't recognize me by looking at me, but it's whenever I'm like laughing or something like that. They like they like recognize my laugh or my voice, and then they're like, oh, what's up, dude? It's kind of funny.
They just hear you saying, what's up, someone? Like, oh, hey, that's
Or I'll like pass somebody on a trail, and it's like, I guess I have things that I just say all the time, and obviously I must say them all the time on my channel too. So it's like, I'll say something like that, and then they'll be like, biker? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
What's up, dude? Not the only fat guy out here.
Yeah. Right on.
So right on, dude. So I saw you, didn't you have a video about getting burned on buying a bike?
Oh, okay. My most popular video.
Is that
I
actually
guess.
the most popular one?
Yeah, like you're talking
I
about
totally
my
didn't
Da
even
Vinci
know that.
Wilson.
Yeah,
The one
yeah.
where I bought a used bike. I'm kind of annoyed that it's my most popular video,
That's
but
so funny. I did not even know that was your most popular video.
yeah, it's got like over 2 million views now, I think,
Holy
doesn't it?
cow. 2
Yeah.
million?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Kind
dude. I
of
couldn't
funny.
imagine.
It's kind
So-
of annoying because like I mean like because there's a lot of comments like criticizing me for just like not taking the time, which is totally fair. It's
Yeah.
true. I was a noob. I was just not knowing what I was doing, and I don't know. I'd made a decision. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this bike, and I spent way too long to drive there, and people are saying, "Oh, you spent way too much money for it." Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
And it's almost like kind of annoying that like, oh, that happens to be my most popular video, so everyone can
It's like your
see my
biggest blunder.
newbie mistake or something. But I don't know. Like honestly, I don't have any regrets though, like
Yeah.
from buying that bike, because it's just, well, yeah, at the time I guess so, but I made it into like my own thing, and it kind of became, because the Da Vinci Wilson, it became like a staple for my channel. It became like an important, you might even describe it as like a character of my channel, because it's just an important bike. People love seeing that bike, like honestly, not necessarily because of the backstory, but like also because it's just a beautiful looking bike as well. So people love that bike, and it's cool. I totally embrace it all. Like, yeah, it's just people love it, so I like it too, and it's just fun to have like kind of a backstory to a bike. It's a fun thing to have on your channel. I'm kind of trying to maybe do that a bit more with like some other bikes, kind of I don't know, have them be like a persona in some weird way,
like Bobo does, where they're talking and they have like German accents and stuff.
Yeah.
What that is pretty funny. So what are you riding now?
So
Still that bike, or?
I mean, a bit, yeah. But if you see my last week's video, I announced my new downhill bike, my Maiden. You see that one?
I did. I just checked it out right before we got on, to tell you the truth. I saw you're building a mullet, huh?
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, 26 rear, 27.5 front. So I'm super excited about that. So that's my main downhill bike now. And like I'm keeping my Wilson, for example. I'll ride it once in a while, but just for like old time's sake and stuff. And it's fun. It's a bit more free ridey, the Wilson. So the Maiden is going to be a little bit more downhill centered, not too much more, but it's still pretty free ridey, and I don't know, it'll be sweet. So that's my main downhill bike. So, and then I got my hardtail, the Diamondback Sinker hardtail. And then I'm building up a new enduro bike, which should be done very soon. Actually, we built it up on one day, like a week ago, and then we got the wrong chain ring, so we couldn't even put the chain on it.
Oh, that sucks.
It's almost fully built. It's just sitting in my place right now. And I can't actually ride it yet. And
that's such a drag when something like that happens, man.
But yeah, it's just been annoying how my Maiden and then this enduro bike has been taking so long, because there's some complications. I don't know, things outside of my control, and then like waiting too long for parts. And I thought I'd have both these bikes done in like March, and now it's June, and like, okay, finally I got one bike done. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of this stuff got all screwed up from the whole COVID business too.
Yeah,
I mean, I bought a bike in January, and because it was obviously not manufactured yet, it took. I didn't get the thing until like April. It's like 4 months, dude. You know, it's like every week calling the bike shop, and they'd be like, "Yeah, it says next week now." You know, it's like, all right, dude, just tell me when they actually tell you it's going to come, because I'm just going to forget that I gave you this money, and someday it'll be like Christmas.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and how a lot of people are kind of asking me like, "Oh, am I keeping my Evolve bikes?" And yeah, I keep my Evolve bikes, because I they gave me 2 frames last year, and I sold the enduro bike, and then I'm selling the downhill bike, the Sky Pilot, and I haven't sold that one yet, but yeah, those are fun as well. And but yeah, I'm just riding some other stuff now, and basically I like to be just free to ride whatever.
Mhm.
And so I don't know. That's why I like the kind of relationship I have with Diamondback, is where it's just a totally non-exclusive kind of deal
Mhm.
where, I just got their hardtail. I'll make, so many videos throughout the year. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what else I ride. And that's what I like. And I kind of need that. And so that's why I'm really excited about this year. One of the funny, I don't know did you see my crash reel of 2019?
I didn't. I think I watched it a while ago, but I was like trying to refresh my memory before we got on. I saw that one come up, and I was like, I can't remember if I saw it or not.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, because in that video, I mentioned how oh, you guys, I'm just so stoked about this year. It's gonna be awesome. There's so many comments about how here's Jordan saying that he's so stoked, and then coronavirus happens, and then everything just wiped out. Everyone's just laughing about how I was so stoked, and then it's oh, you're probably not so stoked anymore, are you, Jordan?
Right?
It's
it's been a hot mess, man. That's for sure.
It has been. But hey, I'm still actually pretty excited for what I've got planned. I've got some fun plans for my channel this year, and I'm actually pretty stoked. I can't say too much yet, but I will say one interesting thing. I bought something special. I won't say what it is, but it's going to be fun. We're going to make some fun content with it. And I don't know, it's just the way that I can do this is because I'm not hung up on having, sponsors or exclusivity for this or for that. And I need the kind of freedom to ride anything, ride whatever. And I'm just gonna do some fun stuff. So
I'm guessing the van. I'm guessing you went with the van. You're gonna be like everybody else. You better have a drone, dude. You need a drone and a hot chick too, and then you'll be really good.
Yeah. I'll say no. I don't have a van. I'm not going for the van route. But
that would suck if I really busted it up there. You're like, damn it, now I got to do something else.
Yeah.
So 200,000 subscribers. Are you so you're not doing sponsorships then, is what you're saying? You're basically purely riding on your ad revenue and your Patreon.
Yeah. So YouTube ad revenue, Facebook ad revenue, and Patreon are my primary sources. So then I sell stickers. That's worth a little bit. Not too much, but I do need to get some merch made. I got to get some shirts made. I'm procrastinating on that all the time.
Yeah,
but I really want to do that, but I don't know how much that it's all going to make me. But otherwise, yeah, I don't have any paying sponsors this year, nor did I last year either. And so, but this year I got some good hookups from some companies like Marzocchi gave me free suspension, which is so sick. Same as last year, DVO gave me suspension, or Revolve gave me the frames. This year, I got some great hookups, which really did it really did help.
What were you running from DVO?
So yeah, they gave me their Onyx fork and their Onyx dual crown fork and Onyx single crown fork for the downhill and enduro bike, and then a Topaz Air shock for the enduro and the Jade coil for the downhill bike. And so that was cool. And
how'd you like the DVO stuff?
I thought it was good. I really enjoy my favorites would have been the enduro bike suspension. That was my favorite that I liked the most. Yeah, and then I
have a DVO Diamond on my hardtail, and that fork is freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about my suspension on my Bronson's all clapped out right now. So I'm thinking do I go and have somebody try to rebuild it, and then it ends up costing me a bunch of money, or do I just get new stuff and just swap it out? So because of how much I like that fork, I was thinking about switching over to DVO on the Bronson.
Yeah. The Onyx that I had on my enduro bike was super good. It was really nice and buttery. So that was good.
On. Yeah, I think they make a coil too for enduro bikes as well, don't they?
Coil fork? Is that what you mean?
No, a coil shock as well.
For
the downhill.
The Jade, or no, I guess they released another version of it. Was it? I forget.
I don't know. Somebody was telling me about it just recently. I didn't. I could be wrong. So
yeah, maybe. But yeah, I guess one thing I actually don't care for about getting say frames sponsored or this or that is you get into kind of mode of just getting new bikes every year, and that's exactly what I did for the last year and then basically this year is I'm just like getting new bikes every year.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that, I'm kind of realizing, is like it's hard to really have a history with the bike and like create a backstory with the bike. Like, for example, my Da Vinci Wilson, as we were talking about. Cool thing about my Da Vinci Wilson is it's so like, I don't know what you call it, natural, or it's happened all organically. And there's some really interesting story to it. When it comes to like, you know, getting the evolved frames, it's like, okay, they come, they go. There's nothing interesting there. I can't like develop a relationship with the bikes, if that makes any sense. And I don't like that. I want to be able to have things happen a bit better. I don't know if this sounds just kind of weird to all you guys, but like I kind of want to just quit with the whole, you know, getting new bikes every year thing. So like next year, I might not get any new bikes. I'm very happy to just ride exactly what I have. And because also the thing is, once you really ride them a lot, you get to know them better and better. You'd be like, yeah, you know what? I want to switch that part out to this part out to that. And I want to pimp it out, maybe make it, you know, change some colors here and there and make it look just super cool. I don't know. I just think that's super cool to do. And it's kind of what I want to do a little bit more of.
I completely agree with you, man. I don't know. I mean, I obviously don't have any bike companies knocking my door down, but I've had some that I talked to, and I don't know, man. It's like I kind of feel like the way that you do. It's like, I don't know. I just want to get the bike that I get and be stoked about that. And I don't necessarily need like the newest thing every year, you know? Like,
I don't either. Yeah.
And like, I know that it's like nominal, you know, like the changes, like they'll bring out a new frame and maybe they change a little bit and you're like, yeah, that's not really that big of a deal. But it's like, once you get to a point where, let's say a few years back when it was like, okay, well, you need to get a new bike because you want to get a carbon frame, or you want to get a bike that has, you know, the spot for hydraulic, or the to be able to put hydraulic brakes on it, or you know what I mean? Or like, oh, I want a bike that because I want to go boost. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things, but it's like once you have a frame, if you're happy with it, man, like so many people are like, oh, I want to get into mountain biking, and they just go straight for, you know, whatever the newest and latest and greatest is. And it's like, dude, you can buy a bike that's a couple years old. That's sick. You know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah. Cause I think like, yeah, if you're new to mountain biking, yeah, it's probably a good age. Just like you should find something cheaper, you know, find something used or something, you know, just get some experience with something. And also like, well, I guess one thing I'll say about my new enduro bike, because I'm not revealing it to anyone yet, but I will say I bought the frame just like I did with my Rocky Mountain Maiden. So it's, again, it's not like a sponsored frame or whatever. And I actually just chose aluminum. I didn't bother with carbon. Like I just don't care enough. And it's cheaper, and I just don't really see the benefit enough of forking out that money for carbon. So I just bought aluminum.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're doing, at least in my perspective, between the aluminum and the carbon. I will say that I had the aluminum hardtail, and I loved that bike. And one of the reasons that I sold it was because I got on one of my buddies that was carbon, and just like how much flex was in the bottom bracket of my aluminum one, like when I was pedaling and stuff like that, was tremendously different on the carbon one. Like it's so much more rigid, and the way that like the chain stays on the carbon bikes were like laid up, like they could flex a little more. So it like, but flex up and down, not side to side. And it just, to me, it seemed like it really like made a huge difference in the responsiveness of the bike, you know?
Oh yeah.
But I could see if you're like doing like a downhill bike or something that you're just doing, like, what's it fucking matter then? You know, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if I've been able to recognize the difference enough between aluminum and carbon. I don't know, but yeah, like my Diamondback Hardtail is carbon. I think that's pretty cool. I mean,
yeah,
I guess the thing that I'm a bit worried about carbon is just its different behavior. I don't like how I'm have to be now like scared if I crash with it or something. I don't know. What if I like, you know, hit the frame on something? Is it gonna damage it inside that I don't even realize? I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, that same thing could happen with aluminum, dude. Like honestly,
well,
like
yeah,
you
but
could ding aluminum and it could be compromised, and you're not really seeing it either.
I mean, I
I mean,
guess I don't
you
know.
you could get online, dude, and watch just as many bike failures that are aluminum bikes as there are carbon bikes online. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
perspective on that stuff, and maybe I'm just a little laissez-faire about it, but like my perspective is like, dude, if your frame's gonna break, your frame's gonna break. Like it's
yeah,
just a shitty thing that happens sometimes,
yeah,
and just cross your fingers and hope that it's not you. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that I've had some pretty nasty spills on my carbon bikes, and
Hmm.
they're still all right, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
that's good. Yeah.
so I don't know. What do you look forward to with the channel like growing, and like is there anything that you're like for me, I'm at a much smaller number, so I'm like always like looking at, man, if I could hit this number, if I could hit that number, like this would be cool. Like I feel like once you hit like 100,000, you're probably just like whatever. Or do you still have like you're looking at the subscriber count and like kind of aspirations for that?
I don't know, not entirely, because I'm so far away from a million that it's like that's so far away. I don't know. I'm not even thinking about that. But because that's the next milestone, or no, 500,000 is a milestone, obviously, but like, or 300,000. But I don't know. Once I hit like 100,000, that was like the dream. Like back when I started the channel in like 2012, 100,000 subscribers actually was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Today, it's not actually a huge deal anymore,
Yeah.
just because of how everyone is just growing so much. So, but anyway, so obviously I was super excited. It just, it's a real milestone. 200,000 was not as exciting. It's like, okay, yep. But yeah, I don't know. 300,000 will be a bit more exciting, or 500,000. That will be something, actually. That would be pretty interesting. I don't know how long that's going to take, but we'll see. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, 500,000. It's just even thinking about 100,000 is just nuts.
Mhm.
Like you go to like I don't know. Do you watch sports? Like you ever watch like football or like?
Not much.
Yeah. You go to like an arena, dude, and like you see like a concert, and there's like, okay, this is like 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, dude, I got 100,000, 200,000 people following. Like that's just insane.
Yeah.
It's really crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's cool.
Did you think if you would have been told back in 2012 when you started this channel that it was going to take you till now to hit 200,000, do you think that would have like motivated you, or do you think that would have like made you like shy away?
That might have made me shy away, actually, because there's a point in like 2015, 2016 where I was just like losing motivation, like because I was growing, so every year was just the same as last year. Like nothing was bigger, nothing was more. So I was like, this is so lame. Like in terms of views, they're just like the same views, the same amount of money. But I don't know. I guess it would have just discouraged me a bit more, honestly, if I had known.
What do you think it was that like really turned it around for you? Like, because I've gone through a point where I got like really unmotivated, so I can relate with what you're saying there.
Well, because I mean, I mentioned before, like I broke my wrist in 2016, right? So it forced me to have a break, and I think that was a pretty big part of it.
So you didn't do any content while you were healing at all?
For the most part, no. I actually wanted to, but I actually couldn't even edit because one arm was in a cast. I actually could barely even use the keyboard. I was wanting to like edit some stuff and get ahead on some stuff, and then I just actually couldn't. So I was kind of forced to take a break, kind of against my will.
Right? You're like, damn it.
Yeah. But I think that was actually a good thing, though. And yeah, because then I broke my wrist in November 2016. So I was just like here for a couple months, couldn't even work, had to like quit the job earlier than I was intending, because then I went to New Zealand for 3 months for Cape and Ray. And then that was also really cool. That was just a really positive experience anyway.
So you were there, but you couldn't ride.
I took my bike actually, and I did ride a little bit near the end. So I waited like halfway through to finally like ride the bike. But I brought the bike to New Zealand and everything. And
How was that, man?
Good,
I look at the trails there and the stuff that they ride there. It just looks so sick.
Yeah, yeah, there's some cool sucks. I went to like Queenstown and everything. I gotta go back there. Queenstown was super cool. I went to like their Skyline Bike Park in
Mm-hmm.
Queenstown, and I mean, because my wrist was still like handicapped, so I was like not able to ride normally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was like really loving some of the stuff that I was seeing there. It was super cool. I just can't wait
Mm-hmm.
to go back there again. So I hope to go there again soon. But
So
yeah,
it's watching your videos, man. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, you're definitely you're a shredder, dude. Like, how do you get to that point? Like, what's the advice that you would give to people?
I mean, I guess like because I have been riding for a long time, like 15, 16 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I did mention how I, started on a hardtail for the first few years, and I think that's important. And don't be afraid of yeah, riding those kinds of bikes, riding the hardtail to like really learn how to ride, learn the physics. I think that's just important foundations for riding
Mm-hmm.
bikes, honestly. I don't know. Otherwise, I guess I've always been into hitting jumps, so that's just sort of my skill set. I'm just sort of more geared towards that, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been
Just
getting,
repetition. Just do it over and over
I
and
guess
over
so.
again.
Yeah, I guess so. And I haven't been as good at like the tech and the downhill stuff, but then once I got my downhill bike, that's when I started to get really attracted to like trying out more tech and downhill. So, I'm definitely been getting a whole lot better at that in recent like years now.
Has
But
Whistler been like? I don't know, like the history of that place. Has that been like mountain biking up there for a long time, like that, like the park, or is that like a fairly newer thing?
yeah, so like the park opened in 98. So
Oh
it's been
wow!
just over
So
20 years now.
for mountain biking since '98.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I
So
didn't realize it was open that long.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So the first time I went there was 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it was, I guess, fairly different than it is today. Um, there's just a whole lot more now today than there was back then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know
Do you feel
what to
like
say.
having that there where you could go, I would imagine probably several times a week, like that's definitely something that's like changes your ability. Like I don't have like quick access to I mean we have North Star, it's not too far away. I guess I can't really say that, but historically speaking, I didn't necessarily have that kind of access to like somewhere where you could like really refine your jumping like that. And I think that's why
Hmm.
for me, I'm more of like a technical rider. Like I
Hmm.
I don't I don't do many jumps. Like I did when I
Yeah.
was young with BMX, but not like that
Hmm.
stuff. Man, you're hitting like 45-foot freaking booters, like
Yeah.
gaps and stuff, dude. There's huge stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, like it definitely helps if you're able to go ride a bike park a lot. Honestly, though, I don't ride bike parks terribly often. Like I never bought a season's pass in my life for any kind
Hmm.
of a lift access bike park because I don't ride there enough. Well, and because there's multiple bike parks to go to in BC, like I don't go there enough, any one
Hmm.
park enough to warrant a season pass. But usually at Whistler I get like a 10-day pass. Honestly,
Hmm.
I ride there like 10, maybe upwards of 15 days in a
Hmm.
year. That's like the most I'll ride at Whistler.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely like that repetition of like doing so many lifts in one day, like that's really good for your skills. Cause you look at any locals, Whistler locals, it's like, oh man, how are they so good? Well, because they can ride a surprising amount in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
summer. Yeah.
So is there like a lot of stuff like in your local trail systems that have like these big features and that's kind of like where you've gotten better at that or
Yeah, basically like in some of my recent videos, I was talking about rebuilding this one like jump trail
hmm.
when with the 45 footer. That's my local system. That's just
Hmm.
like 15 minutes from my house. And so yeah, I ride there a lot. And so Ledgeview, the local mountain that I ride, it's fairly flowy. It's not like technical at all. So there's
Hmm.
all sorts of different size jumps, small, medium, and bigger jumps. So that was the place where I would just learn to jump. It was pretty flowy, and so people would just build jumps, and
Hmm.
I thought that's kind of cool. Yeah, it wasn't very technical or anything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What so you say you're getting into the technical stuff now, like or so
Yeah, like I've been able to really appreciate it like in the last few years. Like ever since I got my Da Vinci Wilson, I was like, oh man, these tech trails are like these double black trails at Whistler are like super cool. I've never ridden these before. Now I want to ride them more because there's something so fun about having like 8 inches of travel and you're just like riding these rocks and roots and you're just like, oh, it just feels so good. So
I've never ridden a bike with that much suspension on it. So
yeah,
I don't know what it's like. I should, man, people tell me all the time. They're like, dude, you should come up to North Star and ride. Like you'll really like it. And I don't know what it is exactly that I don't know. Like there's like something inside of me that just doesn't want to do it because I feel like, but I have all these other trails that I can ride. It's like, why want to go there to like, I don't know. Like I really wish I could explain it. Like I should probably sit around and think about it. Maybe I can put words to it, but we have such a great trail systems around here. And I assume I mean, you have a lot up there, obviously. So it's like, why would I want to go to a park and like hang out with all these freaking dinglings that I don't know? And like, you know what I mean? Like I could be out in the woods riding bikes like I like, you know?
Yeah.
Like with my buddies. And I don't know. I guess I like just being out there and more like natural kind of raw settings.
Yeah, that's fair too. I generally do prefer that. The problem with bike parks is they just get used and abused, and you know, there's braking bumps, and I don't care for like the super like wide trails, like the machine built trails. I actually prefer like single track if possible. I prefer that. It's more of a in the middle of nowhere feel in the middle of the mountains, and I do appreciate that a lot too. So, and you don't really get that at bike parks so much. There's just pros and cons to each, I guess. Yeah,
totally. I saw on your channel you had something about you're going to do like a heli drop or something like that.
Yeah. Like in Pemberton, we were supposed to do a heli drop and then it didn't happen. That's super lame, but yeah.
Have you done that before?
No, I've never done it before. So
I bet that was exciting thinking that was going to happen, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So what happened? Why did it fall through?
So I guess really it was just weather apparently. Like the pilot was not comfortable with like clouds in this one area or something, and I don't know. And then at a certain point in the day he was then busy doing other stuff or like doing lifting other people here and there. I don't know, it was weird.
So they were gonna like take you up somewhere that you just like the only way you can get there is by helicopter, or like where were you gonna go?
I think so, yeah, because like it's in Pemberton, which is like 30 minutes north of Whistler. And so I forget the mountain was called. I forget the mountain's name, but I don't know. Other people would do heli drops there. I'm not sure if you can pedal up to it. I mean, it would be pretty high, I guess. Apparently, it was like supposed to be like a 3-hour descent or something like that.
Oh wow!
Pretty crazy, and sounds kind of fun. But
how many miles do you think it was?
I don't know.
Because 3 hours to you, dude, could be a lot more miles than 3 hours to me. Because I saw the speed that you're going, dude. Your 3-hour descent might be 6 for me, man.
I mean, they're probably talking a more like casual pace, like including the stops and I don't know, but
standing around shooting the shit. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Right on, man. So, so new bikes coming on the way. Can't talk about that. What else is new with you, man? What are you excited about right now?
I mean, okay, so you know how like a bunch of people like Matt Jones, they've been doing this whole like lockdown build and everything, and those videos are doing so well. Like all these people are doing these build videos. So I want to also do a little bit of that, and that's kind of why I did a little bit of that in some recent videos. You see me like, oh, I'm rebuilding these jumps or something, so I kind of wanted to try with that. So I'm actually making a new trail at my local mountain now with some of my friends, and so we just started like a couple of weeks ago, and haven't told anyone about it yet. So you're like the first person I'm publicly telling this to, but I'm not like sharing any images or anything yet until I get some more like footage. I want to make like a series, kind of like how kind of similar to how Matt Jones was doing his lockdown builds. I won't do as many videos as him, but like, yeah. So maybe in like a month or two, you'll see all of a sudden there'll be this like trail building series, and you'll see like a bunch of videos coming up. And
trail building is like the hot topic on YouTube right now. I think like trail building is like the new van build or something like that, right?
Yeah. People love building things, I guess. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
for
that's what
real.
Seth's doing on his channel, and it's like killing
Yeah.
it over there.
It's what surprises me is that he's always building stuff just at his own place, and it's like,
Hmm.
and he's just still doing it, and it's working. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, it's really working. Like he's just
Dude,
building like one feature at a time. I'm like,
right?
wow, and he can get away with it. It works.
Right.
It's pretty funny.
I would watch that guy build a toilet, dude. Like seriously, man. His like content's so good. You're like, why can't I do that? Just I don't know. He's definitely quite the creator, that's for sure. He's a fun guy.
Yeah.
He was on the show a couple weeks ago. It was the one time that I've been nervous, dude, was to talk to him. It was like, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to screw this up.
Yeah.
What was it like the first time you met him?
Oh, it was really good. Yeah, we clicked pretty well. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I don't know. We just, we were able to kind of connect easily. So that was fun. That was good.
So he came up there. Was it because I remember, I do remember him doing some stuff with you, kind of like,
yeah, like the first time we met was 2017. He came to Whistler basically. So that's why. And then what was it in 20?
Oh yeah, he did that video, right? Didn't he have like some like short film that he was like showing at Whistler or something like that?
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, like the Dirt Diaries thing. There's
so then you guys hooked up while he was there and just had a good time.
Yeah, basically a little bit. And so so that was cool. And then we did like a North Shore ride with like BKXC as well during this one trip, and that was cool. But and then I also visited him at his older house in Asheville. That was in 2018. So that was pretty fun. And that was totally awesome. Riding some stuff near Asheville. And
What did you like what was it that stood out about riding down there? And what did you like about it?
It gets kind of like rocky and steep in some places, which I thought was pretty cool. Like I love like rocky stuff. I think that's pretty fun. And like riding Windrock was pretty fun. The bike park in like Tennessee, that was pretty sick. I just noticed how like there's some really like steep sections that I wasn't quite used to. Like you'd go steep for a long period of time. Here where I'm from, like there can be some steep stuff on the North Shore, but it doesn't last for very long. And then out there, there's some there's just some steep stuff, and it's like, oh, this is like 3 times longer. Maybe it's like the same steepness, but it's like way longer. So I'm just like not used to it. It was fun though. It's cool to kind of experience that. And
do you mostly only ride up there or where you're at, or?
Yeah, mostly. I haven't been doing a ton of traveling, honestly. It's something I would like to do more of. Actually, there's so much in British Columbia that I haven't even explored yet. So I want to do a lot more exploring around here. But and it's kind of the only place I can for the time being, anyway. So, but yeah, I want to go down more to like Washington, Oregon. I want to go to Utah again. I've always been wanting to go to Moab. I thought that looks pretty cool. Or like Sedona looked pretty cool. Like the Sedona Mountain Bike Festival looked pretty fun.
You should definitely go, man. That's like my favorite place, dude. I look forward to that event all year.
Yeah, it looks so nice. It's so beautiful looking out there.
Like, I tell people it looks like a postcard no matter what direction you point your head. Like it really does. It's kind of crazy. But the riding there is way different. Like we had this joke like about Arizona downhill. Like you climb in Arizona downhill. like you get to the top of the hill and you're like, oh sweet, it's all the way, it's down for here, and you're like, they're like, nope, you're still gonna get like 400 feet elevation gain on your downhill leg. It's like this is ridiculous. It's just like a lot of it's just real like punchy. It's like up and down, even on the downhill stuff. Where like I'm assuming where you're at is probably more like where I'm at, where it's like a big grueler climb and then it's like bomb for like 15 minutes down, or like something like that,
much. Pretty much.
So I know when I've ridden in some other places that are just they don't have that kind of elevation, that it's just it's very different, and it taxes the hell out of you. Like I could be doing like 25-mile rides here at home and I don't know, let's just say 2,000 to 3,000 feet elevation gain. And down there, it's like 10 miles and you're just like, I'm over it. I'm done. It's like, you're just like getting worked. Where where so is that like your most favorite place that you'd like to go, or like what's the number one that you could go anywhere right now, like in the world?
Boy, I don't know. It's kind of hard. I don't know if I have any number ones. I mean, I would see some pretty cool looking places in Europe though, like some bike parks in Switzerland, France. They look pretty freaking cool. Like I don't know what they're called, like Morgin. What is it in Switzerland? I forget. There's some like beautiful views there. I'm like, wow, I want to go there. That's so cool looking.
I skied in the Alps over there before, and it was just freaking breathtaking. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, I bet. Also, Quebec would be kind of cool. I've never been there. Because I've seen like BCPOV went there like last winter or fall. And I was like, some of that looks pretty cool. There's more like fun rock work. I love rock work and all that kind of stuff. It's super fun. So I love riding on that. And
what's your favorite place that you've ridden?
I don't know. Probably just like North Shore stuff or Whistler kind of stuff. Sunshine Coast is really good too. Sunshine Coast is just a lot less ridden because it's like a ferry ride away from Vancouver.
If there was like one trail that you could ride for like that you only could ride for like the next month, like which one would it be?
Okay, I don't know. That's hard. It's really hard. I like having variety, so it's hard for me to ride any trail for very long repeatedly. I don't know. That's so hard, but like something like in Squamish, like what I rode, like there's some really fun stuff in Squamish, like entrails, some fun rock slabs, or like Hueso. I don't know. There's super fun stuff there. Some of that's pretty legit.
Yeah. Is that like the rock slab stuff? Is that like the stuff that you like doing the most, or?
I mean, I like it a lot. Like it's a lot of fun. I don't ride it a ton because like where I am, I'm a little bit farther away. There's not really rock slabs on my local mountains, not much. But then once you get to like Vancouver or Squamish area and Whistler, okay, then there's more rock slabs, and I don't always ride there a ton, like compared to just my local mountains. But yeah, there's some of my favorite things to do. Rock slabs. I love ladder bridges, woodwork. It's awesome.
Anything up in the air, I'm not too crazy about. Those ladder bridges just sound frightening to me, man. So I saw one of your videos. You were talking about that. You said you don't use Strava. Is there a particular reason for that?
I haven't figured it out. I don't actually know how it works.
There you go.
But for real, like I actually tried to use it like a couple years ago. I downloaded it and I was like, I don't get it. Like, what does this even mean? Like, I tried to record my ride because I think it sounds kind of fun to time your rides or something. Or there's there's these like leaderboards. I thought that sounds kind of fun a little bit. I don't really care too much because I'm not like that much into racing. However, it's still a fun thing to do.
You know, I never was like interested in it at all. And then my one buddy was like telling me like, because I always had like a Garmin, like I would record my ride so I would know how much elevation I did or how many miles I did or whatever. But the thing that was cool about, or is cool about Strava, is that they have those segments. So it's like you can actually see like, hey, there's that downhill run that's like 3 miles over here, and today I felt fast. And you can go back and see like whether or not you were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like against yourself. Like that's the part like that I care about. I don't really care about all the like whoever else out there, unless it's like, you know, my buddies. But for the most part, it's like, dude, some days you'll do a run, dude, and you'll be like, man, I was smoking it. And then you'll look at your time and you're like, dude, that's like 20 seconds slower than my fastest time. You know, like another time you'll be like thinking you were like I did this video a little bit ago. I was like telling people how to PR this one run. And as I'm going, like recording the video, I'm like, I'm not going very fast. Like this isn't going to be a good run. And I got to the bottom, it was like under 6 minutes for this section, which is like definitely like a top 10 for the day kind of time. And it was like, oh wow, I guess I was.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I will try to do some Strava again because it does sound like kind of fun. Even if it's just comparing with myself, like that's also kind of interesting. But I just didn't really put any effort into it much. So maybe later.
So why no racing?
I don't know. I don't find it as fun. It can be pretty fun at times. Like I've done a couple of races here and there. I've done like the RDH race at Crankworks like a couple times for some years. I don't know. I just more into free ride. I'm just more into like riding for fun, and so it's not all about like the speed for me so much. It's just more, I don't know, hitting jumps. I mean, if you're into jumps, generally it's because you're not racing down them.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a different thing there, but I like hitting jumps. I like flying on my bike. That's generally what I like. I like trying to, do some style, do some whips. That's just more fun to me, I guess. Yeah.
Racing doesn't appeal to me at all. Like the only people that I want to race are like my friends. You know what I mean? Like, so like I don't really care about beating people that I don't know. You know what I mean? And I know I'm not like gonna like be number one on the podium, right? So like what's like the point? There's no like motivation there to be like, oh sweet, I came in 67th, like what do I care about? Like but what I do care about is like beating my buddy down the hill and being able to talk smack to him all day long. Like or like beating my buddy on my hardtail and he's riding a full suspension bike and I'm like, like that's like way more fun to me than like paying somebody to ride bikes that I can do for free. I don't know, man. I'm just not into, I don't like the idea of like paying to ride,
Yeah. No, I know. But yeah, no, it makes sense. Just like have fun with your friends. Like that can be fun, That's pretty fun. But it's more fun if you have like a chance to win at something. Like if you realize, oh, my results are pretty good, then you start to get like a bit intrigued. Like, oh, maybe I want to try it again. Maybe I want to beat more people.
Right.
But I don't know.
So didn't you do EWS a while ago with a couple other YouTubers?
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. Last year, 2019, and that was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. It was quite a long race. Like I'd never done an enduro race, or no, that would have been the second enduro race I'd done, I guess, because I'd done this other one at a local mountain also last year. But just the whole idea of like a whole day long race is not too appealing to me. Because I don't do that kind of endurance stuff. I never do that. And the idea of like, oh yeah, we're climbing like multiple times up here. Like what? I usually go up like once. Like if I have to hike up, like we usually go up once.
Right.
If we're going up multiple times, it's because we have a truck to shuttle up with or something.
Right.
But that it's something it's kind of fun to try and get a bit better at it. But yeah, it killed me last year. Like it freaking wrecked me. I guess the weather didn't help on that second day, but
well, it was raining pretty bad, right?
Yeah, on that second day it did not help. But
we were like Lone Ranger. He didn't he like get hurt or something? Like he had to tap out, right?
I don't think he got hurt. He just quit anyway. He just wanted to make sure that he wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, so that's all right. And and then Van Can also tapped out after the what was it, the fourth stage, so it's all right. But so
so you think you do it again?
I reluctantly agreed to do it again this year, and then but Crankworks is like canceled anyway though. So whoops, I guess we're not doing it.
Dodged a bullet, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, because there's the EWS 100 and then the 80. So the 80 is a shorter course and the 100 is the full course the pros do. And I was like, yo, let's do the 80, please.
Right.
And
you're
then
like, I don't want to have to go up all those hills.
Yeah. Cause I don't know. Like I'm actually kind of worried. Like, I don't know. I just don't have too much fun when I'm doing that long. But I don't know. Everyone else was all like, "Oh no, we're just gonna do the 100 or nothing else." I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'll do it this one year, this one last time."
Yeah.
But now it's not happening. So yeah, I'm open to doing it probably once more, like a Whistler EWS.
So it's 100. That's 100. What is it? 100 kilometers?
No, 100 only means 100% of the course. That's all it is.
So what does that mean? So like, how far is it then?
I guess I forget how many kilometers or whatever descent it was. I guess I forget, but ultimately there was like 6 stages. So
it's like how many days or all in one day?
It was 2 days. And so the one day was just like the top of the world down to the bottom. So if I don't know if you're familiar, well, guys, you haven't been up here, have you? Like
no, but I know what Top of the World is. Yeah,
yeah, because that's like a 25-minute run,
mm-hmm.
and so that's just like that's stage 1 on the first day, and that was pretty fun. And then the next day, there's 5 stages, and so there's like some climbing you have to do. There's a couple lifts we can take for a couple other stages, but yeah, you're going up and down, like, because some of it was bike park, some was outside of the bike park. I don't know. There, like, some of the climbs, you take a good like hour to do the climb, and that's a bit much when you're doing so much other riding as well. For me. So
how long does it take? So you said it's a 25-minute run down. How long does it take you to get up there?
Probably the same amount of time to get up. I think so.
So you could do that like multiple times in a day if you wanted to then.
Yeah, I think they actually only allow you to ride that trail once a day. The Top of the World trail. I think they actually limit the amount of riders in general. Like, you buy a Top of the World ticket, and it only lasts for the one day and for just you or whatever. And there's like maybe 200 or maybe it's 300 in a day that can ride the Top of the World in a day.
So are they just trying to keep it from being busy, or are they just trying not to get it like super eroded quickly or something?
Yeah, I think some of it has maybe to do with safety issues as well, but probably also to keep it from getting eroded and damaged as well. There's probably a few of those different issues.
Man, we have so many spots. Like I would imagine like maybe you have stuff up there. I mean, yesterday I was in Downeyville. It's like almost 14 miles of downhill. Like why would, like, that's the kind of reason why I don't go to a bike park. I'm like 25 minutes. I'm like, that's not super exciting, but like, you know, I don't know. I guess for me, well, I mean, at that point though, you would go do some other runs like over and over again. You know what? I just remembered I did go to a bike park once. I was in Texas. I went to that Spider Mountain one that opened out there. And, you know, that was pretty fun. And those runs were short. That place only had like 300 feet of elevation loss. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is going to be dumb. Like, like almost any ride that I do here, I'm like at least having like 1,000 feet of elevation loss on my, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I just remember thinking this is going to be stupid. And I had a really good time now that I think back on it. It was super fun.
That's cool. Yeah. Because that doesn't sound like very much, but I guess that's true. Well, I remember,
go ahead.
Well, like in New Zealand, there's some also lift access bike parks that are probably just as small. Like in Rotorua, there's one. I think it was only maybe 450 feet up. But I don't know. There, you can definitely have some fun trails and some good fun descents on that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it's all about how good the builders are, you know, and you can really. I mean, shit. Look at what Seth's got in his backyard. I mean, what's he have, like 100 feet or 200 feet of elevation loss, maybe? You know, like, so I think it's all up to you what you do. Where would you like to see the channel go, man?
I don't know. I guess it's a bit hard to say. I really like kind of doing what I've been currently doing, which is just like lots of riding videos, like having fun exploring, you know, this place, riding that trail, that kind of stuff. So kind of the same old, but like I said, I wanted to maybe put myself on camera a little bit more, like I was saying about doing this trail building series. So so that's going to be kind of something unique that I haven't really done on this channel before. So that'll be kind of fun. We'll see how that goes, I guess.
Do you feel comfortable in front of the camera?
Not that much, not as much as other people. So there's a limit to like how much I do. I'm not very vloggy or anything. So, and that I don't need to change that. I don't care to change that. I don't.
Yeah, I would assume that I mean, the people that are following you, you don't do that. So they don't necessarily want that.
Yeah, it's not that they like don't want that. It's just that they're perfectly fine with it. But like I think it's kind of a welcome change. I think at times whenever I do go on camera, I think that people can kind of appreciate it. It is good to just like be able to put your face on the camera more and put your personality more. I think people are, I don't know, they can kind of get down with that.
When I started my channel, that was like one of the things that I wanted to do. Because it was like I was watching these other guys' channels and like basically, you know, all you guys that were bigger than me. And I just always was like, I want to know more about the person. than like
Mhm.
the trail maybe. And so I felt like whenever I started my channel, I was like, I want to like talk as much as I can, because probably I'm just good at talking. Maybe that's all it really came down to. I'm a better talker than I am a rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think, it depends. It like totally depends. I mean, you have somebody else like Nate Hill. He doesn't talk at all in his videos. People love that, right?
Yeah.
So, what would you, is there anything in particular that you would like to like accomplish in the next year?
I mean, I don't know. I have been wanting to like learn a couple more tricks. I would love to land a backflip. That'd be fun.
Wow.
So that'd be sick.
Is there somewhere you can go and like do like foam pit stuff, or like you just go out there
like,
and
yeah, like
wing
Whistler has a foam pit. There's an airbag like 45 minutes away from me at the AirX Center. I've been there like only a couple times. So yeah, there's some of that. And yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I don't care too much for tricks. I've always wanted to do like a no-foot can. I thought that'd be super fun. But I've kind of like, I was super into dirt jumping like years ago, like back in 2010. Actually, I don't know, because most people probably don't know. I had this epic set of dirt jumps on our property. It was just beautiful. That would have been a pretty cool build series if I had thought of that back then, but I didn't think of that before. But I made some really nice dirt jumps that I would ride a ton. But
does your family have like a bunch of property that you guys own, or?
Yeah, like an acreage. It used to be like my Opa's house. It was a field. Now it's just like a grass field. And I stopped working on them at this point. They would overgrow too easily, so I just gave up on them at a certain point. But yeah.
What background is that? What nationality is that?
I'm Dutch.
Dutch. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on, dude.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I just at a certain point decided like dirt jumping is fun, but I'm a bit more into like free ride and like mountains, big mountain stuff. I don't know. But
what do you what other kind of channels do you like to watch? What do you like to watch on YouTube?
I mean, I don't know, good variety of stuff. Like I don't watch too much mountain biking stuff, like an okay amount of stuff. I kind of like to keep up with like what other of our fellow YouTubers are doing. So I generally like to watch a decent amount of that. Otherwise, some video game stuff, maybe. I like to watch some political stuff, some philosophical stuff, educational stuff. There's a lot to learn on YouTube.
Do you watch YouTube like as a replacement to TV, or is it just like sometimes? Honestly. So you pretty much just watch YouTube?
Yeah, like I don't have cable. For the most part, I never had Netflix either. Actually, now I have Netflix for a little bit, but
check you out coming up, man.
I don't know. Yeah.
So what's some of your favorite channels, man? Last week I was talking to Josh Wilson from Daily MTB Rider, and he told me about this channel called Cart Narcs. And I think that's all I've watched all week, man. It's this dude like just yelling at people for not putting their cart back in the right place in the parking lot, and people getting all irate with him. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
And anything you watch?
I don't know. Like, it's not that I'm like such a huge fan of anyone. I don't know. Nothing interesting like that. Nothing unique. It's just like kind of like more boring stuff. Like just some like political or like news shows. I don't know. People don't care too much about that so much, but I
like Simone Gertz, I think is her name. Have you ever seen her? She makes stupid robots. So. She like makes robots that are like useless. So, like, like one that like puts on her lipstick, but it just does like a horrible job of it. So it's all over her face, and like she's just pretty funny the way she talks and stuff. So there's so many like interesting personalities out there. So it's always fun to hear what
definitely. And I guess another niche that I've been into is like health stuff. Just like so there's some health podcasts that I would also watch as well and listen to. I like to pay attention to some of the more alternative health stuff because it's just I find it really interesting and I find more knowledgeable, and I'm actually big into health. I've kind of always been to some degree. In recent years, I've been getting more and more into like how to really like live healthy and what is actually good and not good,
Mhm.
and it's goes far beyond just food. And I don't know, there's a lot that I've been learning, and that's another thing I've been fascinated by.
Right on, dude.
Yeah.
I found out that chicken wings is not a good diet. So if
Okay.
you can tell by the shape
Yeah.
of me, I've been running this
Yeah.
test for a few years of like chicken wings and beer.
Yeah.
And son of a gun, if I'm not
Mhm.
right, but this does not lead to a good physique.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But it sure is fun.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, hey, dude, we're like almost 2 hours here, man, and I'm freaking super stoked that you were on the show with me. Is there anything that you want to shout out to some people, like something?
I guess just like maybe shout out to my Patreon page, because they're a big help in supporting my channel. So thanks to all you guys. And I don't know.
Put you on the spot, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I should have sent you some. Did you see whenever I had BKXE on, we ate that hot sauce?
I don't think I've seen that one. No.
You should go check out the clip. It's freaking hilarious.
Okay.
Anyways, man, hey, dude, I super appreciate you being on the show, dude. It was really fun chatting with you, and hopefully someday I can make it up there. That was actually one of my goals for this summer, was to get up to your area. But with all this stuff that happened, it's like kind of like messed everything up a little bit. So nonetheless, for all you guys still listening, if you guys enjoyed the show, please hit the subscribe button. It really makes a big difference. Because when I see the number go up, it makes me happy, and then I want to keep doing it. And if the number doesn't go up, I'm like, screw this, I'm over it. So it's up to you guys if we get to see more of it. So hit the subscribe button if you like it, hit the like button if you like it. If you don't like it, hit the like button too. So then you'll really show me then. I want to thank everybody again that's on my Patreon. Those of you guys that aren't on there, go check it out. Seriously, it's patreon.biker.com. So that's B1KER.com. You can go over there and it'll get you over there. You can get yourself some stickers, man. $5. You get some cool biker stickers, stick them all over the place, and then tag me on Instagram with it. Right. So next week, the show is not on Sunday next week. So those of you guys listening, the show's actually going to be on Friday. I'm going to have Biking with Bobo on. So Friday at 5 p.m. If you guys haven't watched his channel, him and I are a lot alike. So we're going to have to probably turn up we'll have to just I'm going to put all these beers back here behind me. There'll be new ones, and we'll just see if we can drink them all before 2 hours are over. Right. So you think I could do it, Jordan?
You might be able to. Maybe. I'll be rooting for you.
Sweet, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thanks again for being on the show. And everybody out there, just remember one thing. It only takes a bike to be a biker. So get out and be one.